Welcome to today's training session hosted by America's Angels Child Placing Agency. Whether you're joining us as a new foster parent or continuing your journey of support and care, we are so glad you are here. This training is designed to empower, inform, and inspire you as you take on this life changing role. Together, we'll cover essential tools and resources to help create safe and loving environments for children in need. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to making a difference. Let's get started. Today, we will focus on gaining insights into fostering, understanding foster parent roles and responsibilities, completing essential documentations, and becoming familiar with agency policies and minimal standards. America's Angels is dedicated to protecting and nurturing children while strengthening families. We provide essential support and services to help maintain safe, nurturing relationships. Our staff is here to assist foster families with home visits, regular contact, trainings, and case management. Together, we ensure the well being of every child placed in a loving home. What you should expect in your trainings. In your training sessions, you can expect to address emotionally charged topics such as abuse, neglect, and the challenges faced by medically fragile children. These trainings are designed to equip you with parenting skills, knowledge of diverse family lifestyles, and an understanding of agency regulations. Remember, trainings are conducted annually to support you throughout the verification process and beyond. If you are here today, you should have already passed a background check and filled out our agency application. This was the first part of your assessment to becoming a foster parent. These trainings and your diligence during the verification process allows our agency to decide if fostering is right for you, just like you are deciding if fostering is right for you. Per minimal standards, agencies have every right to stop the verification of your home without explanation. We are in the business of ensuring our children are safe and in good nurturing hands. They come first. What is a foster family? A foster family is a temporary caregiving unit that provides a safe and supportive environment for children who cannot live with their biological families. Foster care takes place in a licensed, certified, or approved family home, ensuring children receive the care they need. Foster families offer a vital service to both children and their parents, helping families navigate challenges while giving children the opportunity to heal, grow, and thrive. A foster family provides temporary care with the primary goal of helping children reunite with their families when safe and possible. If reunification isn't an option, foster families work to build lasting, supportive relationships for the child. This process relies on teamwork between foster parents, social workers, adoptive families, the courts, and professionals like doctors, teachers, and counselors. Can I adopt? Of course you can. If adoption is the plan for your child, we can facilitate foster to adopt through our sister agency, America's Heart. What is adoption? Adoption provides children without a nurturing family the chance to join a loving home offering care, protection, and opportunities for growth. It also gives parents who are unable to raise their own children the opportunity to provide care, relying on teamwork to ensure the child's well being. Are you ready for the responsibility of fostering? Consider any circumstances that might make it challenging and ask yourself if you can be a part of a team with a shared goal. Will you prioritize staying in compliance with agency policies and standards? Be honest and realistic about your situation. Fostering is a commitment that changes lives. As a foster parent with America's Angels, your responsibilities include actively participating in service planning for the children in your care, helping implement the service plan, and completing required trainings annually. You'll also need to establish a preference for the children in your home and maintain clear, timely communication with America's Angels. Reporting required information and adhering to America's Angels policies and standards is essential. Staying connected and being proactive in communication helps ensure the best care for the children and the success of the program. America's Angels has clear guidelines regarding discipline. Corporal punishment is prohibited, and discipline should always be used as a teaching tool to guide positive behavior. Foster parents are expected to help children manage their emotions, cope with change, and build new connections. It's important to follow the service plan established by America's Angel staff and work together to support the child's development and well being. Foster parents play a key role in creating a safe, nurturing environment while adhering to the agency's policies for effective and appropriate discipline. America's Angels requires background checks from all caregivers, respite providers, household members 14 years of age or older, and frequent visitors. TB tests will be needed for all household members. As a foster parent, you're responsible for scheduling doctor appointments and ensuring that all necessary medical documentations is obtained. It's important to communicate any medication changes with your case manager and keep them informed. You'll also need to provide medical consent when required and maintain an up-to-date medication log. Staying on top of these tasks helps ensure the health and well-being of the children in your care. 3 and 30 medical exam is a key part of ensuring children in foster care get the health care they need. Here's how it goes. Step 1. Initial health assessment within 3 days. Within 72 hours of placement, the child gets a medical exam to check for any immediate health needs. This includes a physical exam, review of immunizations, and screening for general health issues, as well as emotional and mental health concerns. Step 2, comprehensive health evaluation within 30 days. Within 30 days, a more detailed exam takes place. The doctor will review the child's medical history, conduct lab tests, and assess their emotional well-being. Developmental screenings are also done to ensure the child's growth is on track. Step 3, follow-up and ongoing care. After the exams, regular follow-up care is crucial. Foster parents help ensure that the child attends any follow-up appointments, takes medications as needed, and gets referred to specialists if necessary. In other words, the 3 and 30 process is all about making sure children in foster care get the right medical attention early on for a healthier future. Really important to always report any serious incidents involving a child in your care. If a child is injured and needs medical attention, or if there's a sign of abuse or neglect, you must inform America's Angels immediately. Do not wait. This includes situations like any injury requiring medical care, abuse or neglect concerns, runaways or kids who are hard to keep track of, incidents involving restraints or harm to self or others. These are serious situations, and quick reporting is critical to ensure the child's safety and well being. Every incident must be documented in an incident report, which helps the team take the right steps to address and prevent further harm. Your role is crucial in protecting the child and making sure proper action is taken as soon as possible. Clear communication is essential in foster care. You need to report to America's Angels any event that could affect the care of the child. This includes any requests for contact or visits from the child's biological family, friends, or relatives, overnight visits away from the home, which must be approved at least 2 weeks prior, keeping America's Angels updated on anything that relates to the child's care and well being. It's also important to remember to keep all child, family, and agency information confidential. Always ensure that you're reachable so America's Angels can contact you if needed. Timely and accurate communication helps ensure that the child's safety and stability and keeps everyone involved on the same page. Your role in staying connected is key to the child's success. As we've been discussing, as a caregiver, you have important responsibilities to ensure the safety and well being of every child placed in your home. This includes allowing announced and unannounced home visits by an American Angels staff supervisor for each child in line with our policies. You must also adhere to key guidelines such as not admitting non related children for 24-hour care without prior approval and not discharging any child without consent from America's Angels. Maintaining compliance with agency policies and standards is essential to provide the best care and ensure we meet all regulated requirements. You, as a caregiver, is also responsible for transporting the child to important appointments, including family visits, court dates, healthcare and behavioral health appointments, school meetings, and extracurricular activities. In addition to these appointments, it's essential to encourage and support the child's participation in normal, appropriate activities that promote healthy social interactions and child development. You will also be responsible for meeting the child's nutritional needs by providing 3 meals and at least one snack each day, ensuring no more than 14 hours pass between meals and snacks. The meals should be balanced, offering a variety of nutritious foods that support healthy growth. Make sure water is always accessible to the child. If there are any eating problems or concerns, discuss them with America's Angel staff members. Remember, nutritional requirements should never be used as a reward or punishment for behavior. The child should have the same food options as everyone else in the home unless there are medical restrictions. We, as an agency, ask for you to use reasonable and prudent judgment just like you would with your own child. Now we will discuss the guidelines of how you will home. To ensure safety, the home must pass a fire inspection every 2 years, a gas inspection every 2 years, and a health inspection annually. Make sure there is a fire extinguisher on each level of the home and in the kitchen, and that the smoke detectors are installed in hallways or open areas outside of bedrooms, with additional detectors as needed depending on the size of the home. We ask that you ensure household safety with a disaster and emergency preparedness plan. Make sure an accessible questionnaire is available for all and household escape plans are clearly posted for review. Emergency numbers should be visible and conduct monthly fire drills to keep everyone prepared and informed. We also ask for you to uphold minimal standards by ensuring pets are disease free, vaccinated, and up to date on vaccinations. Keep the home free of strays for a safe environment. It is also very important to adhere to minimal standards for weapon safety by storing guns in a secure lockbox made of a strong, unbreakable material. Ammunition must be kept in a separate lockbox, ensuring all weapons and projectiles are securely locked away and inaccessible. Now we will go over the minimal standards on bedrooms. Minimal standards for bedrooms require at least 40 square feet of space per occupant with no more than 4 children per bedroom. Single occupant bedrooms must have a minimum of 80 square feet, including closets or alcoves. Rooms should be safe, suitable for daily use by children, and have at least one source of natural light. Bedrooms must be age appropriate and cannot be repurposed rooms, passageways, or spaces without doors or privacy. Minimal standards for bedrooms also apply to detached structures, which can be used for children aged 16 and older with approval from America's Angels. These detached structures must be included in all inspections and have natural lighting. Basements may be used as bedrooms only if there is a second fire escape route and adequate natural lighting. Minimal standards on sharing a bedroom. A child may share a bedroom with an adult caregiver if it is the best interest of the child. If the child is under 3 years old, approval is needed and must be documented. Exceptions during specific travel and camping situations if no other reasonable option is available. The child may not sleep in the same bed as a caregiver at any time. Please remember, all bedroom policies and minimal standards pertain to entire household, not just foster children. Minimal standards on recreation equipment also requires that there's no openings, angles, or protrusions that could entangle or entrap the child. There must be securely anchored or attached. Climbing or swinging equipment must not be set up over concrete or asphalt, and the equipment must be cleaned, maintained, and repaired. According to minimal standards on trampolines, the number of children playing at once must meet the manufacturer's instructions. There must have shock absorbing pads that cover the springs, hooks, and frame. There must be a netting cover for the trampoline. Ladders are removed when not in use, and there's always appropriate supervision. Now we will discuss what we will be looking for during our home visits. During home visits, we request that the home is clean and free of hazards, both indoors and in the yard. Doors must be at least 6 feet high and securely locked. The home should have an adequate water supply, working plumbing, and restrooms. Chemical storage must be fully stocked and either 6 feet high or locked. Garbage cans must have lids, and beds should include mattress covers. Additionally, working smoke detectors must be in place. We will be also looking to make sure that there's no holes in walls or doors, there's intact furniture, insects, rodents, and odor free. There should be a proper space for child's belongings. All electrical plugs must have covers. There must be fire extinguishers. We request a medical lockbox that will hold the psychotropic medicine, which will be double locked inside that lockbox. Weapons must be in a lockbox. Beds should already be up and put together once you know your age group. We also ask that you ensure the home has posted evacuation routes, house rules, a daily schedule, emergency phone numbers, and licensing. Additionally, we ask that you display the embezzlement flyer both in Spanish and English form. Now we will discuss respite providers. One may ask, what is respite care? A respite care plan is an alternative care arrangement designed to provide relief to the child's primary caregiver. The purpose is to give the caregiver a break while ensuring the child's needs are still met. It's important to always inform the child about the respite plan, including the duration of their stay and who will be providing the care during that time. We, as an agency, recommends that all families find their own respite provider and have them trained. This allows foster parents to take a short break while ensuring the child's care is still prioritized. If you do not have your own respite provider, the agency can attempt to assist by connecting you with other foster parents, though requests are not guaranteed. Requirements include being at least 21 years of age, agreeing to comply with agency's policies, passing a background check, and completing all necessary trainings. Providers must also supply America's Angels with a copy of their Social Security and ID, as well as provide proof of a TB test taken within the last year. Additionally, fire, gas, and health inspections must be completed if respite care is taken outside of the licensed home. If transporting children, auto insurance is required. Plan respite requires the family to notify America's Angels at least 2 weeks in advance. Payments for the respite will be made directly by the placement family at the time of pickup. Failure to make payment at that time may result in a citation or corrective action. For emergency respite, payments should be made by the placement family to America's Angels within 24 hours after receiving the service. Payments are accepted in cash or money orders. Failure to pay may also lead to a citation or corrective action. Now we move on to after licensure. Foster parents must be willing to accept placements at any time, 24 hours a day, even in the middle of the night. If you wish to foster, you must be prepared to accept infants with beds already made up and ready. Once you know your designated age group, you should be prepared in advance, as readiness is expected immediately after licensure. The placement process begins when the agency contacts you about a potential placement. We will reach out to families that meet the specific requirements for that child. You must accept or decline the placement in a timely manner, as we cannot wait for you to contact your spouse. If you are uncertain, the placement may be lost. It's important to have an understanding with your spouse about the types of children you are willing to work with. Constantly declining placements may lead to a conference to assess whether fostering is the right choice for you. We ask that you please keep in mind that children placed with you may or may not come with belongings. It is your responsibility to have clothes, toothbrushes, hygiene supplies, undergarments, shoes, and any other necessities ready for the child you accept. Infants will need diapers. Be mindful when selecting supplies. If your own child wouldn't use an item, neither should your foster child. It's also recommended to keep funds set aside for emergency placements. Discharges should only occur if it is determined that a child is not a good fit for your home. This must be discussed with your case manager, and all efforts to resolve the situation should be exhausted before requesting a discharge. A 30-day notice is required if all efforts have been exhausted. The reason for discharge must be provided, and the state must approve this discharge. Discharges are approved by the state, and please know it's not by the agency. What an emergency discharge look like? One would be a parent withdraws a child unexpectedly from care, or there is a medical emergency requiring inpatient care, the child is absent from the home and cannot be located, or there is an immediate danger to the child or others and you determine that you cannot serve the child. Levels of care are the following: basic, moderate, and specialized. A child who is new to care will start at a basic level. After 30 days of placement, we can submit for a level of care adjustment if needed. Our goal is for all children to transition to the basic level. Moderate and specialized levels are reserved for children with more specific needs, but do not expect to be assigned a specialized child if you are new to fostering, as it is not our practice to place only specialized children with new foster parents. Now we will discuss the pricing for each level of placement. For a basic child, it is $27.07. For a moderate child, it is $47.37. And for a specialized child, it is $57.86. Please note that you are reimbursed for every night the child stays in your home, not every day. Foster parent reimbursements are issued on the 20th of each month. For example, reimbursement for May will be received on June 20th. While we strive to ensure timely payments, we cannot control delays caused by the Postal Service, so we do recommend direct deposit. Any discrepancies or delays should be reported to America's Angel staff immediately. It is not our goal to cause any confusion, so please remain calm and any issues will be addressed and resolved. Our agency does offer a referral fee for families you do refer. To qualify for the fee, the referred family must complete the placement process and maintain the same placement for at least 30 days. The referral fee is $50 and will be paid after 30 days of placement once the referred family's home has been confirmed. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today. Now let's take a quick break, grab a snack, stretch out, and we'll be back shortly to continue. Now we will discuss supervision and go over the understanding on why supervision is so important to the children we serve. We will also discuss the understanding of what minimal standards says about supervision. Being a parent comes with many important roles, including offering unconditional love, protection, nurturing, and guidance. As foster parents, you're expected to go beyond, extending that love and care to children that you're not biologically connected to. At America's Angels, we believe that foster parents are one of the best sources of support and treatment for children in care. While the natural needs for gratitude, respect, and trust may not always be fully met by a foster child, our number one priority remains clear: keeping kids safe in their homes, schools, and communities. Responsible adult supervision is key to keeping our kids safe. By staying physically close and maintaining open communication, we can prevent undesirable behavior and teach appropriate behavior. Supervision also helps teach social skills, foster positive interaction between adults and children, and build healthy, trusting relationships that support the child's development and well being. Let's focus on catching our kids being good. It's a much more powerful way to teach, develop relationships, and guide positive behavior rather than always pointing out the negative. Think about it. How successful are you in teaching a child new behaviors when they're upset or being punished? It's far more effective to teach and model appropriate behaviors when the child is calm and behaving well. This approach helps create a positive, supportive environment for growth. Now we will discuss some major skills required of parents. One being making good observations. Within these observations, we ask for them to be very clear descriptions of the behavior. Responding positively to a child's attempts to engage in a desired behavior is one good skill required from a parent. We also ask for you to have the ability to provide appropriate supervision based on the child's needs. For example, an infant versus an adolescent. Levels of supervision includes arm's length, eyesight, and voice range depending on the child's age and needs. The child's level of supervision should be documented in the child's treatment plan and the foster parent progress report. These documents help ensure that the supervision is consistent and meets the child's safety and developmental requirements. Minimal standards regarding supervision says that infants are required that they are never left unsupervised, especially while sleeping. Their caregiver must be within eyesight or hearing range of the infant or use a video or audio monitor and be close enough to intervene if needed. When the infant is awake, supervision means the caregiver is within eyesight and can quickly respond if necessary, even during short household tasks. The infant can be out of sight as long as they are within hearing range and the environment is free of hazards, ensuring the caregiver can act immediately if needed. What does minimal standards say? A toddler's caregiver must never leave the toddler unsupervised. A toddler is considered supervised if the caregiver is within eyesight or hearing range of the child and can intervene as needed, or if the caregiver uses a video camera or an audio monitor device to monitor the child and is close enough to the child to intervene as needed. Now we will discuss what responsibilities does a caregiver have within supervising a child. A caregiver is responsible for one, knowing which children they are responsible for, and also being aware of and accountable for each child's ongoing activity. They also must provide the level of supervision necessary to ensure each child's safety and well-being, including auditory and or visual awareness of each child's ongoing activity as appropriate. Also being able to intervene when necessary to ensure each child's safety and not performing tasks that clearly impede the caregiver's ability to supervise and interact with the children while being responsible for the supervision of the children and meet any severe planning requirements regarding supervision of any child. In deciding how closely to supervise a child, the caregiver must take into account the child's age, the child's individual difference and abilities, the indoor and outdoor layout of the home, surrounding circumstances, hazards, and risks, and the child's physical, mental, and emotional and social needs. The caregiver must also be aware of the child's habits, interests, and any special needs, including any special supervision needs. They must provide a safe environment, and they must also ensure continuity of care for children by sharing with income caregivers information about each child's activities during the previous shift and any verbal or written information or instructions given by the parent or other professional. And they must implement and follow the children's service plan. When a child participates in an unsupervised childhood activity, the caregiver must know where the child is scheduled to be, give the child a specific time to return to the foster home or the caregiver's location, provide, arrange, or confirm an appropriate method of transportation to and from the activity, give the child a way to contact the caregiver in an emergency, and be able to respond if the child contacts the caregiver and needs immediate assistance. According to minimal standards, using video cameras to supervise children in their bedrooms is generally allowed for infants and toddlers. However, for older children, it's only okay if certain conditions are met. First, parents must give consent. Second, the child must have specific needs like being under 5 years old, having medical needs, or having a plan that justifies the use of a camera due to behavior issues like night terrors or sleepwalking. Importantly, the camera can't record the child, and only caregivers should be able to view the footage. This is all a part of the minimal standards and the Texas regulations to ensure the safety and privacy of children in care. Now we will discuss documentations. Why are documents so important? For residential child care licensing, they use documents for liability and investigations. We as an agency uses documents for child file and case management. DFPS uses documents, and the Youth for Tomorrow uses documents for level of care and reimbursement rates. Who is responsible? Foster parents are responsible for maintaining records related to the child's health, education, and progress. Caseworkers manage official documents like placement, health, and legal records. Agency staff assist with organizing and providing necessary forms, while legal representatives handle legal aspects such as custody and adoption paperwork. Foster parents work closely with the caseworkers and agency to ensure these documentations are complete. Who provides documentations? We get documentations from schools, DFPS, child advocates, courts, America's Angels, and foster parents. School documentations would include enrollment and withdrawal forms, report cards, ARD minutes/reports, communication logs, progress reports, standardized testing reports, letters and notes from teachers/staff, and homework. Provider documentations include physicians, dentists, therapists, occupational speech and physical therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, developmental specialists, nurses, professional service reports, nurse screening tools, nursing assessments, progress reports, therapy notes, psychological evaluations, psychiatric evaluations, discharge summaries, nursing, treatment plans, developmental assessments, and physician orders. EFPS documentations include documentations from caseworkers, RCCL, financial, subsidy specialists. This will include birth certificates, social security cards, Medicaid cards, 2085s, common applications, PPT recommendations, court orders, medical, dental, psychiatric history and reports at placement, YFT, levels of care, HSEGH, and medication consents via BV. Court documentations include court orders via DFPS caseworkers and termination parental rights via DFPS caseworkers as well. And on this slide, it shows what documentations are requested from America's Angels. We have individual service plans, preliminary treatment plans, contact notes, medical consents, placement agreement, placement authorization, intake assessments, school information, visitation and telephone contacts, youth agreements, behavior policies, medical information, correspondence, house rules. We also have birth certificates, social security, immunization records, school records, psychological evaluations, training plans, licensing documentations, home studies, respite allowance, and foster parent reimbursements. And here is the list of foster parent documentations. Like mentioned before, we will request weekly progress reports, which will be due by the 8th of each month. Complete weekly or monthly, depending on LOC. We ask that they be thorough, be very specific. We ask that you take daily notes to help and remember. YFT reads these also, so that is another reason why we ask you to be very specific and be very thorough. And LOC can drop due to poor notes. And here is what an American Angels foster parent progress note looks like. Medication logs need to include consent for psychotropic medication, and the dates and initials should match when the medication is given. You must record the exact time of administration each day. If there are any missed doses or mistakes, make sure to note them on the back of the log. Also, document any side effects or reactions. For children under 2, both prescriptions and over-the-counter medications must be prescribed. It is important to never skip keeping medication logs. It's essential for the child's safety and care. And this is an example of a medication log. Medical, dental, psychiatric forms must be completed at all medical, dental, psychiatric, psychological, developmental, or other professional appointments. To speed up the process, fill out the blanks ahead of time. And we ask that you fax or call America's Angels case managers for the psychotropic medications immediately. And here is an example of the medical, dental, vision, hearing, and behavioral health appointment form. Incident reports are due within 24 hours of any incident. We ask that you complete these reports on runaways, serious injuries, sexual acting out with another child, serious illnesses, or physical restraints. Our CCL has to be contacted for all serious incidents via statewide intake. When it comes to liability, Everyone is liable when there is a serious incident. Here is an example of a foster parent incident report. Within the home, we ask that you maintain the child's file in home. This will include birth certificates, social security cards, placement authorizations, medical logs, immunization reports, prescriptions, physician orders, dental records, discharge summaries, and other, school enrollments, report cards, ARD reports. We also ask that you keep filed the evaluations from psychiatric and psychological appointments, reports, correspondence, and therapy notes, and anything that comes from America's Angels, such as child weekly/monthly progress notes, daily activity schedules, treatment plans, professional service reports, house rules, behavior charts, etc. And here is an example of a therapeutic recreation log. Here is an example of America's Angels Child Belonging Inventory form. This is an example of America's Angels Daily Routine form. Here is an example of America's Angels Foster's Home Visitors Log. Here's an example of the Emergency Practice form. You have now reached the end of our training. I thank you for your patience, and now we will go over any questions you may have.